Hello Reborners, my name is Karen and this is Making Dolls with Karen. We're back with our Candy head and we're trying to get her to look at least a little bit like her limbs look. We're going to put some 05 on her. I've already put one coat off camera because, well, she needed to dry and I didn't want to just sit here while she dried. You know, when I'm doing the arms and the legs, the head gets a chance to dry, but it doesn't do that when you don't have any arms and legs to do. So I did one coat off camera and I'm gonna do this one on camera, and we're gonna get her back in the oven. It won't take us very long. This will be a very short series because, well, how long does it take to paint a head? Not very long. So here we go. We're gonna paint her for the second time here. This is the second coat of 05, and when we come back, I will paint her one coat of the warm blush, and then I will come on camera and do the other coat, same as I'm doing with this, to save a little time. And the video should download really quick because, well, they're short. And it does take a certain amount of time no matter how long the video is, but some of it's to do with how long the video is, some of the time it takes. Anyway, if I knew how to loop them together, there is a way, but I don't know how to do it because my nephew used to edit my videos. He was my editor and he used to do it, and he said it took a long time to edit the videos, and I just was a little bit skeptical about how long it might have taken, but obviously he was right. I tried to loop some videos together before and it was going to take 7 or 8 hours just to loop them together before I could even download them. But then I have really slow internet, so that could have been part of the problem. I'm sure he has faster internet. He does all kind of video stuff all the time, so he's probably a little bit more savvy about it than me too. There's this program you can download, and I had it on my tablet, but I took it back off because I forgot what it was even called, but it helps you edit your videos and stream them together, stick them together end to end and stuff like that. And you can pause it, but it just takes twice as long to download as my regular camera video does. Camera app, I mean. I just record mine with my camera app and download it into YouTube, and that doesn't take nearly as long as that other app did. And so that's what I use because I just don't have 7 or 8 hours just so 2 little short videos can be linked together. It's just gonna have to be 2 separate videos. That's just all there is to it. This literally took me 2 minutes. I'm gonna repaint her lips though, and that'll take a little while, moments actually. It might be a 10-minute video altogether, I don't really know. It shouldn't take 7 minutes to paint her lips though. It's just ridiculous. I shouldn't have even recorded doing her head, but I thought, well, okay, I've already invested in this Candy doll. I need to finish it up. Anyway, here we are. I know I told y'all probably, I don't know if I told you in this video or Lane's video, I'm doing Lane and Candy at the same time. So as soon as she goes in the oven, I'll be right back to do a segment on Lane. But I know I mentioned that I ordered my paints for my, let's see what color these are. They're all red. For my air dry experimentation on a new brand of paint. I ordered them yesterday, I think, or was it today? My days just run together. I think it was yesterday, I'm not sure. But they'll be in, I don't know, 5 or 6 days probably. I don't really know how long it's gonna take. The shipping was outrageous. That was the most problem with it. The paints weren't that expensive, but the shipping bumped it right up there, let me tell you. I don't know where they're coming from. I didn't see anything that told where they're shipped from. I'm hoping it's the United States, so it won't be all that long. Now, where did I put that? Gotta pounce her a little bit more. She looks a little wet still. Okay, see, this is her light lips from that. You know, I was telling you that, you know, I think it was in Candy's video. It might have been in Lane's. I don't know. When you're doing 2 dolls at once, you get confused on what you said and which one. But as long as you have some paint on there, the next coat will be darker. And oh yeah, I think it was Lane because I was doing his nails when I said it. So we're gonna do Candy's lips again. I have to take my glasses off for this because I can't see good with them anymore. And get her painted again. As soon as you like the color of the lips, you can stop painting them. You don't have to continue to paint them in between every color like I'm doing right now because, well, they're just too light. As soon as you think they look good, that's it, you're done. And unless putting on another coat of paint dulls them or something and you don't like the way they look. But it doesn't usually do that. If you get the color right in one step, like this step, let's say I got it the way I wanted it exactly and I thought it looked fabulous. Then when I come back to put her warm blush on, it absolutely will not hurt it. It usually does not. Now, if you want really light lips and you go, I really like the darkness of these lips, I don't want them any darker than that, and they're really light, and you put color on top of it, it might change the color. It might dull it a little bit more where you have to put a little bit more on there. But you can always just add a very thin coat. Thin coats look better anyway because they're smoother looking. And when you put on thick coats, they get globby and rashy and bumpy and streaky and just everything you don't like about paint when it's not applied well. So thinner coats do make it better looking anyway, so a lot of times upside down is the best way to do the top lip. Not always, but sometimes. And she is certainly dry enough to touch, so you don't have to worry about taking any of her paint off unless you're rubbing hard against her. And then it might take some off. Rubbing paint that you don't like will take it off better than just touching it or dabbing it. If you're dabbing with a sponge and the paint you dislike is not coming off, rubbing it a little bit will help. But be warned, it's going to come down to, it may take off everything you put on since the last time you baked. And most everything I say about painting it's only the heat set. I don't really know that much about air dry yet. I'm going to start learning it real soon. I'm going to do a few dolls with air dry as long as I have enough paint to do it. I don't know how much those little tiny bottles I bought will do, but I bought the smallest bottles they had because, well, if I don't like it, I don't want to be stuck with a bunch of paint again. I really jumped the gun on that other paint. My first doll was, I don't know, pretty good. It was Zendrick, and he was such a cute little preemie doll. And he was quite expensive too. And I did him, and his coloring was fabulous, but he was just too shiny. Everybody says it's something I was doing wrong. Everybody I mention it to says, you must have been doing something wrong. Well, I agree. I just don't know what it was. I didn't have anybody to help me go, well, this is what's happening, and this is what I've done. Can you tell me what to do next? Nobody would tell me. And I was even in a group, a support group, I guess, or a tutorial group or something like that. That brand of paint came with a tutorial. And everybody said, aren't you watching the tutorials? Well, they were the kind you had to download and print. They weren't videos. You had to and I didn't have a printer at the time, so I couldn't download them and print them. And I couldn't use them. I said, can't you just tell me? And they just wouldn't answer back. And I said, this is for the birds. I just can't do this. And so I just finally decided to just go back to heat set. I understand heat set. Now, there was air dry when I started heat set. I'm not saying there wasn't, but it wasn't all that popular. It's hugely popular now. And a lot of people are actually switching to air dry because they say it's easier. I don't know. Is it easier? I don't know. I'm going to find out. Anyway, there she is painted. Her lips are nice and pretty now. They're not real dark, but I don't want them to get real dark. I know one thing that a lot of people in my doll group complain about when they're air dry artists is lint. I don't know if it makes that much difference on an air dry doll, but it makes little to no difference on a heat set doll, because anything that's sticking to your doll, as long as it's not absorbing the paint off of your doll and making your doll have a white spot or something, it's not going to affect your doll. It's going to fall off after it bakes. You just kind of brush it a little bit like this and it comes right off. And it's no big deal. At least that's the way I see it. I don't know about air dry. I'm going to find out. I don't remember when I was doing air dry before any lint. I don't remember any lint being a problem. And they won't even, a lot of them won't even put anything on their table because of lint. They say lint, 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 you know, I can't do it. But I don't find that to be any sort of a problem so far. Not with heat set anyway. I don't know about air dry, like I said. I'm still waiting to see if air dry is going to be something I even want to do. I know it takes a lot longer to make a doll with air dry because you have to put so many coats on them. And I don't know if I can stand that. I'm going to try. I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm aiming, unless the first doll is such a fiasco I just can't move on at least doing 2 dolls to see how I like it. I don't think 1 doll is, you know, a fair comparison, really. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I think you ought to give something a little more shot than that, unless it's really, really horrible, and then I wouldn't continue. I don't want to ruin 2 doll kits if I can just ruin 1. I don't think it'll ruin it. I just might not like it. But anyway, that's her painted, and it took all of 11 minutes and 42 seconds of talking to get her to this point. So anyway, we're going to get her right back in and get her baked, and I'm going to be bringing Laney out to do, and literally in seconds. I'm going to have her in the oven and Laney out on the table, and we'll be right back to put some paint on him. I believe he is also ready to start getting layers. I don't know why I put up all that paint stuff, because if he's ready to start getting layers, I'm just going to be using it. Should have left it out. He's ready for 05 as well. So anyway, I'm going to remind everybody to please like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.